Coming up, the mornings in the lab, reset your life, a motivational journey from yesterday to today. We're getting after it this morning. Mornings in the lab with Keith and Fred. Welcome to Mornings in the Lab, where
when something negative comes up.
Building muscle, please. Blood flow.
Nobody is expecting, John.
If the lady's saying that, you're just
Being a super
Be entertained by fun over here.
How have I slept? Has my sleep been good? Is that it?
There we go. There we go. Good morning, nation. It's the time to start your day, guys. Don't roll over and hit the snooze button. It's time to get your ass out of bed, or in other words, get up. Good morning, Shinku. I see you there in the comments. Good morning, Johnny. Good morning, Marty. Good morning, producer Jimmy. Good morning, world. You are on the biggest morning show on the planet for men called Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. We get after it every single day here at 8 o'clock Eastern time. Our purpose to help you guys get up and achieve those big goals in life. We're here to talk about resetting your life, a motivational journey today with myself, Marty, and Johnny. We've got a super guest here today, Mike Smart, who's going to make us a bunch smarter. Join us here on Center Stage coming up about 15 minutes after the hour. We got Mind Fuel popping in about the 45-minute mark with AJ Zeglin talking mental performance here in the lab this morning. Jimmy, let's bring in the boys and see what Johnny and Marty got going on here today. What's up, gentlemen? How are you guys here today?
what's happening?
Doing swell, Keith. How you doing today, man?
Oh, I'm awesome. Thank you very much. What's up? Yeah?
There's a good old fashioned word. Doing swell. Look at that.
Doing
Mark.
swell today, guys.
Well,
yeah, guys.
Hey, that's a good point. We've lost a bunch of words, haven't we, Johnny? Like words like swell, like we don't use them anymore.
Yeah, swell, your drawers, all sorts of good words.
Your drawers.
Yeah, drawers is crazy.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what I like to do? It's kind of fun to figure out where did these fucking words come from?
And then
I think your drawers, does that come because you put your drawers in a drawer? You know? Does swell, does it mean your heart is swelling? Does it mean your dick is swelling? What does swell mean?
Yeah,
sure.
No kidding.
I thought it was draws with an L on the end, not an ER.
Well, of course you did. You're from Maryland. Hey, guys, so I know we're here to have fun. I know we're here to provide levity and provide, a bright spot to humans' days. But I would be remiss and I would be ignorant if we didn't bring up kind of what's happening in the world right now, especially in John Anderson's backyard and in Shinku's backyard, with the massive wildfires happening up in LA. Shinku just coming in here with a comment here saying, hey, I live in LA and I wasn't worried about the fires, but now I'm starting to worry. So again, Shinku, I appreciate it.
They're fucking nuts, dude. They're fucking nuts.
Yeah, and again, I want to
literally think like this. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Keith. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, I don't want to spend the whole hour, We want to give folks optimism and a reason to believe about tomorrow in the future. So while I want to acknowledge what's happening over there, because it's crazy, I don't want to spend a lot of time on it. But Johnny, you're right. It's horrible. It's horrifying, isn't it, Johnny?
Well, here's kind of I don't know how widely known this is, but this gives you an idea of in some areas how bad it is. Some of the freeways are, LA are brutal, right?
Yes.
So. Yes. There was a place where the freeway was, you're kind of, unfortunately, you go to traffic where you're sitting still. You could just get out of your car for a second to stretch if you needed to sometimes in LA traffic, right?
Yeah.
Well, the fires are getting so close to this freeway. People just started fucking getting out of their cars, running away, right? They had to bring a fucking bulldozer through to just shove cars out of the way to get the fire engines through. To get, if that doesn't, that's like movie stuff. Yeah. So for people that don't understand the severity, it's
like traffic.
They had to just literally had it. People were gone, right? They just were
People
bulldozing
got
cars
out the car.
out of the way just so the fire trucks could get through.
Holy fuck, man! I didn't know that. I saw.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It really, it's kind of, it's like when you think about something like that, it puts it on a different level. People running away from their cars because the fire's getting so close because they're stuck.
Well, it put in perspective for me too today when I read. There's concerns they might lose the Hollywood sign.
Wow.
Oh yeah, it's in West Hollywood now. Oh yeah. I mean,
Like Johnny,
yeah,
so where you live, and I know you're in inland Cali there. I know you're a number of hours away. California's a big state, obviously. But John, from where you live, I got to assume the air quality is horrible. You can see the smoke. You must be able to see in the horizon the orange brightness. Am I correct?
Well, here's the interesting thing: is if you look at the pictures, almost all of them, you see that the fucking smoke is blowing out to sea. It's blowing away, which is actually really helpful because if that shit was coming inland, that'd be creating a whole new fucking problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, do you see the thickness of that smoke, man? And here's what's terrible. You've got people that are running from their fucking, running from their homes, because they stay there as long as they can, sometimes longer than they're supposed to, trying to save their homes.
Yes.
And then these fucking looters come in and start fucking breaking into homes.
I know.
Do you believe this shit? It's like, God damn it, man. Why do you take advantage of somebody that's, about ready to lose everything? And there's a possibility that, they won't or they will. We don't know. But the fact that someone wants to take advantage of that is just unbelievable.
It's awful. And I lived in LA for 2 years, so I saw a lot of those fires. Obviously, it wasn't this bad, but just ashes flying in the air afterwards, just smelling like smoke. You go outside when you come in the house, you just smell like smoke. So I can't even imagine what it's like now. But I still got a lot of friends and stuff out there, so I just been like checking up on them.
Yeah,
but it's scary. I've been on the freeway and seen the fire in the mountains before, so it's scary. It's real. It's real.
And it's not even fire season. It's fucking cold and it's semi-wet for California.
Well, that's what I'm really taken aback by, Johnny. Is that from my experience, it's not fire season, right? So that's why I was a little startled by this. And again, maybe I don't want to suggest I wasn't paying attention to it, but I was paying attention, but not to the extent I do during fire. Like I'm a news freak. I'm constantly reading, but I was really taken aback by some of the imagery I saw yesterday. And, Johnny, you said it best, right? Like us humans, and I'm going to look at us men, John, Marty, because I'm going to suggest, I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but I'm just going to suggest it. It's probably disproportionately men over females that are looting. Would we agree? Disproportionately?
I would have to agree with that.
Yeah. So guys, like when our fellow man is at his worst part in life, just trying to take care of his family or just survive. And I know you're probably not listening to our show right now, so fuck who cares? I'm just gonna express it. But like to John's point, man, somebody's losing everything, and so everybody's driving out of the neighborhood, and there's one dude driving into the neighborhood going to go loot that guy's house. Like, come on, like honest to God, eh?
It's terrible, man. There's another way.
As if the emergency responders don't have enough to deal with.
Yes. Yeah. I didn't realize bulldozers. I didn't even think about because I've often thought about, sometimes when I'm driving here in Winnipeg, and Marty, you've been in Winnipeg, traffic jams aren't too crazy, but sometimes they get traffic jams. Like how do emergency response vehicles get in? Yeah, a bulldozer.
I mean, it's what I'm really hoping when all this dust settles, I'm hoping, that this was just some sort of an accidental thing. If we find out that this was some other fucking idiot or group of idiots, trying to fuck the place up, that's gonna bum me out, man. Because it's just like, holy shit, there's just it's for some reason, it's just like the beginning of this year, there's just too many people running around doing dumb shit. With the intent of destruction and taking lives, and it's like, come on, man.
Good morning, Ben. See you there in the comments. Good morning, Scotty Benzie there. What's up, Marty? Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say there's a lot of speculation that these are man-made fires.
Seriously?
I know it.
Seriously?
It's just based upon the season. Just the season alone says, how the fuck did this thing get started?
Because usually the fires are like August, September, around that time.
Yeah.
But
It's
to happen
fucking
in
dry.
January?
You know, somebody lets a hot fart in the fucking wilderness and something catches on fire. You know, but
That's crazy, man.
you know, we're talking, you know, pretty close to the fucking coast. You know.
Yeah.
Well,
And I also,
and then go ahead, John, Marty.
I was just gonna say, I had clients in the Palisades, so I was out there a lot, and that's a highly affected area. And then I saw like Calabasas too. I lived in Woodland Hills, which is the next town over, so it's scary, man.
I was going to send a note to Keach this morning, Marty, but Keach to Malibu, eh, Marty? So Johnny, where's Malibu?
Malibu right there. Malibu's right there.
Malibu? Yeah, where's Malibu?
Yeah, it's literally right there.
It's right there. Yeah,
We're
right next to Palisades.
Well,
we're gonna send the note.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing that people got to realize. If you've never been out here, you know, there's lots. I mean, especially close to the coast like that. I mean, it is fucking damp, a lot. You know, there are times where, you know, fog, like Marty, I'm sure you remember, there's fog coming off of the coast, and it's not really conducive to something fucking catching on fire accidentally.
Well, that's
it doesn't make sense.
That's what's crazy. Hey, Mike Smart, I see you there in the horizontal, brother. I need you to get you into the vertical as well. You got 2 tabs there in your instructions, so I need you in 2 streams here so we can get you on the vertical stream and the horizontal, Mike. We'll get you coming up here in a few moments. And you know what's also crazy about what's happening in Cali? And again, we don't talk politics. We like to have fun with the theater of politics, but it's crazy, eh? Trump and Newsom making it political.
Of course.
Like it's either a Democratic fire or a Republican fire, but it can't be a fire just that's a fire, Marty. It has to be a political fire.
Well, look at the day and age we're in. Everything has turned into media, and you know it's going to affect their brand. So, I mean, you know, Trump's going to find a reason.
Who owns the fire? The Republicans. No, the Democrats. Somebody who owning the fire. They're
like kids. It's literally like kids.
I will say though, I was having a conversation with our good buddy Kurt Stein yesterday. He's like, you know, Trump is I don't know if there's another leader or human. And again, I want to talk just the world. There is not a human in the world who can lob a balloon to get a response to see what happens. Yeah, I want to take Greenland. Oh, and regardless if it's real or not, it doesn't really matter. It's just this idea of floating this ridiculous idea, Marty, and then seeing how you react.
Yep.
Like that's business 101.
You guys got to remember. There's a lot of similarities between politics and professional wrestling.
Oh yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
And so when you say this stuff, it's like you know, you kind of understand that it's like you know, attention is currency now.
Yes.
Oh yeah, everything.
Well,
everything.
Fuck, Matt Anderson. We've hung out long enough to know we finished our sentence. I was just about to say that. It reminds me of wrestling because you start a narrative today that you really know is going to get to the point maybe in 18 months from now. And then people are like, oh my God, this thing happened. Yeah, but don't you remember when I said it in the ring a year and a half ago when I said, yeah, I'm going to fucking body slam John Anderson. Oh my God, Bilous just called out John Anderson. And then we build it up, talk and build it up. And then about a year from now, it happens. But it's planting that seed, eh, Johnny? It's planting that little seed of doubt, of excitement, of
when you hear something enough, it becomes more real.
Yeah. Yes. Well, yeah, it's like the drones in New Jersey. It's like, where do they go, eh, Marty? All of a sudden they're gone.
Yeah.
Right? Are they
and then you ask government officials what it was, and they say, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just like, they don't know what it was, so we're just going to forget about it.
Scott Benzie's coming in here saying the Clintons are behind the fires. Yes, the Clintons are.
Jesus Christ.
You can create a story about it, I'm sure.
Hey, the next season of House of Cards, the Clintons are behind the Hollywood fires.
Yeah.
And then
you know the messed up thing. The messed up thing is that there's, forget about the which party, you take sides of. It's just like, I guess you say our world is really fucking good at creating, an issue or literally a fire, so to speak, over here. So that everybody's looking to the left, so that they're working on something to the right. Nobody's fucking looking.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Oh, that itself, Johnny, is brilliant. Like that's.
I know when I say I'm not saying politicians started this fucking fire, but they often will start fires not a literal fire, a facetious fire, so over to the left so that they can do something on the right and everybody's still looking over to the left.
Yeah, what's that song? Dun, 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 here I'm not gonna sing. Yeah, anyways, yeah, it's forget it. I was you're right.
Oh, that was good, brother. Come on, sing it for us. Come on, give it another go.
Nope. It's the illusion, right, Johnny? It's like what's happening over there, and you don't even know what's happening way over there, right? That's the magic of theater. Theater, right? It's like convincing people something going on over here, but what's going on over there, which is
I mean that's wrestling too.
I know.
Man.
Well, I'm telling you guys. That's why I told Marty to watch McMahon, and Johnny, you should watch it too, because
it's good, man.
Because it's culture, isn't it, Marty? Like it's actually culture.
Yeah,
now
Johnny's gonna have a whole different perspective than us. Like me and you were watching it, we're like fascinated. We're like fans. John's like, yeah, I know that's bullshit because I know this guy. This guy told me something else.
Well, here's the thing. I know that there was a lot uncovered. There's no question. I'm sure to you guys, like, holy shit.
Yes,
that's just the tip of the iceberg, man.
Well, I know
behind the curtains, you see so much more going on. Like the amount of, there's like all of this performance enhancement control, right? That the public sees in professional sports.
Yes,
in the fucking locker room, man, it's a whole different fucking world.
Yes,
I mean, in the NFL, you got fucking 50 guys lined up in their fucking jock straps getting their fucking tortle shot. They don't even know if they're going to get on the field.
Yeah, Marty, we need to do a private watching party with John Anderson with the McMahon series, just you, me, and Johnny, and then just sit back and fuck.
Oh, that would be funny.
I'll just be straight. In the fucking locker room where I was, I could go to the doctor and say, Doc, I'm hurting.
Yeah.
He just opens up the fucking, okay, what do we need to get you out there feeling okay?
Well, you know what, though? That made me think about LeBron a couple weeks ago. I don't know if y'all saw. He just took a leave of absence. Like, just walked out of practice, didn't play in the game, comes back like a couple days later, dominating. So there's a lot of speculation that he went and had to go get his whatever he uses. No, I don't think he
had Cola. He had Jolt Cola, man. He had Jolt Cola. It's coming, making a comeback, brother.
Oh, okay.
How's this? Let me tell you a quick story. So I'm not going to mention a name because he's a dear friend of mine. He's passed. I'm definitely not going to mention his name. But it was early 2000s national championship. This is Pro Strongman.
Yeah.
Killer show. We're fucking kicking ass and it's obviously TV. And one of my buddies ends up he banged himself up on it was called the silver dollar squat. It was basically kind of a shallow squat, like a 9-inch squat. There's like fucking 1,200 pounds on this thing. Fucking brutal, like spine compression shit. One of my buddies comes out of there and he is fucking ghost white in the face. Like something's wrong. Right. And he's just walking fucked up. We're like, oh man, it's spine compression. Ooh. Goes to the locker room, comes out about 30 minutes fucking later. He can barely walk going back to the locker room. Comes out about 30 minutes later. We're doing the stones, which is all fucking back.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Loads all 5 fucking stones, right? Which, he was barely walking a few minutes before. We find out, after he goes and we find out what the fucking problem is, once he gets fucking, scans and x-rays and shit, he full blown ruptured 2 fucking discs in that squat event. But obviously 30 minutes later was able to perform and really not knew that he hurt himself.
Man, talk about doing
ruptured disc. Yeah. Most, with the average person ruptures a fucking disc, they're not walking, period. You know what I mean? And then because the pain is so brutal, I've been there before. It's fucking brutal. But the bottom line is, that's the thing is you got to understand at this level, especially in like the big sports, what's available to you in that locker room is whatever you need to get back out there.
Whatever you need to get back out there is what you got to do. And boys, we got a guy hanging out waiting for us. Mike Smart. He's going to make us smarter. Oh, there's a pun. There's my good jokes this morning. Yeah. Just going to look at the camera and tell smart jokes with Mike Smart. Yeah. Hey, Jimmy, you like my jokes this morning? All right, guys, let's get after the accountability check-in today. Here's the one I'm going to give you guys today. Don't compare yourself to others is bullshit advice. Yeah. Do it. Yeah. But do it right. Yeah. Because the problem isn't comparison, you guys. No, it's how you do it. Yep. Compare yourself to people you respect, not the random influencers with the rented Lambos. Yeah, I said the rented Lambos. True story. Compare your chapter 1 to their chapter 1, not your messy middle to their highlight reel. We all do it. We create the FOMO. We open up the old gram going, oh my God, why can't I look like that guy? Why don't I have what they have? So instead, ask yourself, what did they do when they get started? What habits got them where they are? What mistakes can I avoid that they can't avoid? Take notes, not hits to your ego. That's how you know that you're doing it wrong. So you sit in envy instead of taking action. That's what you do. You feel like a failure when you see their success. You focus on what they have, not how they got it. And that's the problem, you guys. You expect their results with making their effort or sacrifice. The only comparison that matters, are you better than yesterday or not? So, yes, keep going. No, you're not better than yesterday. Well, then fix it. Because if you don't fix it, you're going to be the same as yesterday. There's your accountability check-in this morning. Mornings in the lab. You know what I'm saying, Shinku? If you're the same as yesterday, you got to fix it, or else you're going to get the same results you had yesterday. All right, there's your accountability check-in this morning. All right, Jimmy, let's bring in our guest, Mike Smart. What's up, Mike Smart?
What's happening?
How are
What's
you,
up,
pal?
Mike? What's going on, Mike?
Good. What's happening?
How are you today? Where are you joining us today from, Mike Smart?
South Dakota.
Yes, you are. And I am north of you in the good old sunny 51st state of America, Canada, in Manitoba, just north of you, Mike Smart. You know where I am?
Welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome to the United States.
That's it.
Yeah, I got
You guys
South
knew it was
Dakota.
coming.
I got to jump in here real quick. I love South Dakota. It's such a different world than California. We have all of our cars registered there because we're nomadic. You know, we move around. We have multiple homes. You know, so according to the law, if the vehicles are never in one spot more than X amount of time, you can register in nomadic state. So we chose South Dakota. So yesterday, listen to this.
Of course.
Yesterday, I literally picked up the fucking phone, called the DMV. Someone picked up the phone. Now, Marty, I'm sure Maryland's probably the same. Like California, you can't even call it DMV. There's no such way to get a hold of somebody in that DMV.
Yeah, I know.
Lady picks up the phone. Very nice, very sweet. I paid the registration over the phone for the 4 fucking vehicles in about 10 minutes, and it cost me less than $400.
Oh no, I can't do that here. Hell no.
That's what I said. In California,
Hell no.
yeah, just the re-registration, just the cost of because every year you got to pay when you re-register your cars. That's fucking thousands of dollars by itself.
Oh man,
I love that. I love that state.
Yeah, they remember your name out here. Like
it's a whole different fucking experience, man.
So boys, Mike Smart is the founder and CEO of Smart Farms LLC. He's the creator of Bucket Buddies. I've been watching Mike Smart's journey on LinkedIn. Mike is passionate about reshaping the way we think about sustainable food production and educating future generations through creative hands-on experiences. As the founder of Smart Farms, he focuses on helping individuals and communities grow their own, Johnny, you're going to love this, Marty, fresh, nutrient-rich foods through indoor farming solutions, making it accessible even in challenging environments like his rural hometown of South Dakota, where there's a little bit of snow on the ground for a few months of the year, right? Right, Mike? Through books, animated cartoons, grow kits, and interactive lessons. Guys, you gotta check out his product, man. Bucket Buddies. It brings gardening to life, inspiring kids to understand where their food comes from. And I just knew you were gonna love this, John and Marty, and how they can be a part of a greener future. Mike, welcome to the show, man. Tell us a little bit about Smart Farms. But before we do that, Mike, the big question we like to ask everybody on the show is the big one, brother. What is your morning routine to start your day?
Get up, check crypto prices, get a nice big black cup of coffee, and sit around and make shit all day.
Yeah.
Videos. And my kids are pretty much taking themselves ready, so.
I gotta ask a question. What is your cryptos of choice? This is such a different world, man. What's your crypto? What do you invest in?
Well, I've been in this game for a long time. I started one of the first crypto payments companies in the United States called Smart Digital Payments, where we empower businesses and merchants to accept crypto at the point of sale. I invested in a lot of the companies that came out like early on, like Gala Games, and I got in there super early. I probably 100,000x my investment on that, but I'm pretty much in things that I know the people who have built them or are building them, and that way I can actually affect the token and whatnot. So I like metaverse projects, and because I also am a founder of Meta Builders, where we help people build their brands in the metaverse. And so yeah, metaverse projects and obviously Bitcoin, but right now I'm only in a few.
I love a good answer, brother. I like that because it's not just a gamble. You're actually you like being a part of something. That's cool. Right on.
Well, in the beginning, I freaking lost $300,000 worth of XRP leverage trading, and I was
man,
yeah, it was like $98,000. I was dollar cost averaging for 2 years, and I ended up getting like 98,000, and then the pump happened, and I leverage traded right during the pump, and I 100x leverage traded, so they gave me like $3.5 million, and me not ever leverage trading before, I just was like, buy with all that money, and it just went up, and it triggered all the sell pressure and fucking liquidated me, and just within a click of a button, all of my savings down to zero.
My God, dude.
Jesus.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It's pretty common in crypto, man.
So that's part of Mike's morning. That's part of your morning routine. You get up and you grab the coffee, and then you wonder whether the heart rate's going up or heart rate's going down. Is that how it works?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm pretty much numb to it all nowadays. If it's down, I buy. If it's up, I sell.
There you go. Hey, good morning, Amy Reiner. I see you there in the comments, and Shinka was buying a bunch of Coca-Cola this morning. Hey, Mike, I know we had you on for our 13-minute segment here today, but are you able to stick around for deep dive with us as well, to hang out for the next 12 minutes as well?
Yeah, I'm here.
Awesome, cool. So we're going to get to the C. Marty fit tip in a second here, but I want
real quick. I just want to say we got our man here is the first to get up and have check crypto as part of his routine. So we had to go into that a little bit. I mean, this is an original, baby.
I agree with you, John. That's why I wanted to keep him around, because I want to dig into that, because you're right, Mike. You are the first one, and because we ask this question of every single guest, you're the first dude that says, "Yep, I get up and I look at my crypto, and then I wonder whether I'm going up or going down or going sideways." So that's good. We want to learn from you, brother.
Everybody's getting up and doing some sort of exercise. It's like we don't ask what kind of workout do you do, because everybody's fucking working out. But we got to do this kind of very different approach to the morning here.
That's it. Hey, Mike, when you said you were up like 300 grand, like that's money like in. Like on paper, right? You didn't have that 300 grand cash in your account. You were going by smart buddies. That was paper rich, eh, brother?
That was like all crypto, 100%. I mean, I was spending my rent money on that shit. I had no dollar bills, all XRP.
Really, eh? So you're like all in digital currency, eh? And is that a mindset you've been teaching your kids as well? This is fascinating to me. Is that a mindset you have with your children as well? Like,
I mean, we're definitely all in, but like, it's one of those things, man. It's high risk, high reward until you have something to talk about. If you don't have anything, then you got to put everything. And then even when you have everything, like I was making $50,000 a month and I was fucking spending it. I was like, I was broke every month just because I was trying to get there. It was like turn 50 into 500. But yeah.
So you said you lost all that in XRP. Are you still in that one?
Hell no. No, the reason why I got out of that is because they kept playing with the price. Like there was this one guy kept selling like 1% of the token supply every single day, because it was like a sour partnership type deal. So I just got out and started. That's why I started these other businesses, because I'm like, I need to do something that actually affects my investments rather than sitting around twiddling my thumbs waiting for some rich guy to fucking give a shit about my back.
So crypto was your only jam at that point. That's what you were doing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Wow.
Yeah. If you're putting your whole, your whole nut into crypto, that seems like that's a slippery slope. I don't know enough about it, but shit. Usually I mean, the people that I know that do crypto, that's just a piece of, they're doing regular stocks, they're doing options, they got businesses. So it's kind of like almost a side hustle,
Yeah. I was like, working 2 jobs, single dad. I've been raising my daughters by myself for like 11 years. And I had, during the pandemic, I got kicked out. I was going to college full time for business management while I was holding 2 jobs, one at a bar and one at the college I was going to school at. So, and then I was just bouncing back and forth, getting my kids to school, to daycare, to work, to college. And it was fucking insane and unsustainable. And then the pandemic kicked in and I had to stop all of that. And it was like just the most ridiculous full stop I've ever had in my life. And I had to figure something out. So, it was one of those things where I just was like, this is the way in. Crypto is it. And I just went all in on it. And it ended up working out, then not working out, then working out. And then still to this day, I mean, what I've spent in 2021, some of my investments have been paying my bills ever since. I haven't worked in like 5 years.
Wow, good for you. Hey, you're hanging out with Mike Smart, Keith Bilous, John Anderson, and C. Marty Fit. We're going to come back with Mike in a minute here. We're going to go to the C. Marty Fit tip, and we're going to come back with Mike and talk about resetting life, a motivational journey. Mike, you said something I want to lean into. You were raising your daughter, single dad. I got to suspect that the title, I didn't even know this, but when I put the title on the table today, Resetting Your Life, a Motivational Journey, something's happened in your life, Mike Smart, where you had to reset and you had to keep rocking and rolling. So let's dig into that when we come back with after the fit tip. Mike, here how this works. Johnny goes for a piss. I have a sip of coffee. Marty gives some fitness advice to help our guys get going today. We're going to come back, keep the conversation going with you.
Hey, real quick. It's a windstorm here. That's my internet went out, so I'm on my hotspot now on my phone. So if it goes out again, it's a big windstorm and a snowstorm here.
Yeah. Dude, that's
good so far. Okay,
my
cool. We good.
Support this son of a bitch.
My hotspot's doing all right now. All right, just letting you know if it was choppy or something. But thanks.
Marty might blow away, Jimmy.
Get off the screen. Get off the screen, man. Give me my time, man. Get out of here, man. All right, man. We got the fitness tip for today. Very simple. Consistency over intensity. I know it's the beginning of the year. You're going to come out to the gym first week, second week of January of the year. You're going to think you can just go hard. You're going to think you can go 1,000% every day. I'm here to tell you that that's not a good idea. You're going to burn out. You're going to be super sore, and you can probably lose your motivation, which means you're not building any discipline, and you're starting the year off bad. So what I'm here to tell you is get in the gym consistently, and every day does not have to be 1,000%. You don't have to kill yourself every day. You don't have to empty the tank every day. Some days go in there, give yourself 20, 30, 40 minutes of low intensity work. Do some mobility, do some stretching, do some yoga. You can walk on the treadmill. And if you got a snowstorm like it is here in Maryland, you're probably not walking outside. But you can do some low intensity things. But the key is to get in there consistently and keep the momentum going. I know it's exciting. I know some of y'all doing 75 hard. Some of y'all got some new challenge or something you've seen your favorite influencer doing. And that's amazing. I'm glad that you're doing that. But you don't have to kill yourself every day. Consistency over intensity always wins. That's the fitness tip for today.
That consistency over intensity. Marty, got to tell you, man, I didn't know you were talking about that today, but it was part of my day yesterday. I always focus on keeping Wednesdays a lighter day. And sometimes it's a battle, right? Because I'm going through my routine and I feel like I got to get the heart rate up. I feel like I got to go at it. But you know what, Marty? I remind myself that, the loop starts in 24 hours again. And tomorrow's the day I'm supposed to go harder. So I had to tell myself yesterday to dial it back so that I can go harder today. You know what I did hard? You know what I did this morning, Marty? I went hard this morning because I created that awareness yesterday, because sometimes you kind of feel like you want to go intense, right? But you kind of have to learn how to pull it back. You follow what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah. And I had my light day yesterday. I'm going hard today.
Yeah.
Like I said in the fitness tip, you can lose your motivation sometimes.
Yes.
And then you're not building any discipline because you feel terrible. You feel weak. You feel sore. So it could be very discouraging too.
Well, and the concern of what
discipline is the fucking foundation, brother. Discipline is it. And it's when you can, discipline is doing the shit you need to do even when you don't want to. And that there is the foundation to freedom.
So that's a good segue, Johnny. That's a good segue. Discipline is the foundation of doing shit when you don't even want to. And we're here with Mike Smart, our guest here this morning. We're talking about resetting life, a motivational journey. And I got to think, Mike, you said something in the previous segment that, you're a single dad. You're raising you're raising your daughter. You've been doing it yourself for the last 11 years. Mike, let's get into your journey. What prompted the reset for you? And I got to think, pulling off what Johnny said, you woke up and you're like, okay, I got to be consistently disciplined every single day to make sure my life is successful and my daughter's life is successful. And then I've been watching your success as you get up every single day and crush it on LinkedIn. So Mike Smart, tell us about your journey about resetting life.
Well, I mean, that is a great segue because like after all that stuff happened with crypto and I built Meta Builders to a multi-million-dollar business and then Mark Zuckerberg came through and basically patented me out of a business. I went down from making $50,000 a month, about $400 a month, trying to scramble around, figure out what it is I was going to do. And I ended up losing everything out there in Washington. That's where I come from. And last year, almost to the day, I left Washington. I spent the last $300 I had on train tickets. My daughters and I pretty much trashed and sold everything we had and came out here to South Dakota to this tiny little town with 700 people in it. And I started over, got a quick job at a gas station and saved up enough money to get into an apartment. And luckily the crypto scene started coming back and I was able to squeeze some more money out of my investments. And then now I'm back 100% crypto. But I started this farm, Smart Farms is an indoor, essentially an indoor tower farm. And we grow food indoors because there's no fresh vegetables out here in this little podunk town. So that's where it all began. That was where my reset happened. But and then with that, I realized how difficult it was to try to re-educate these farmers or these small country folk. So I started writing books. I wrote some children's books. I've published 5 books, and ever since just this year. Yeah, and that's where I'm at.
Talk about some pivots, baby. Look, I love these fucking pivots.
Well, so do I. And you know what, Johnny? I love too, Mike. You said something which is extremely humbling and vulnerable and revealing. And Marty said it even in his journey in life. Marty had a point in life where like, hey, I guess I got to do some fucking DoorDash, right? And sometimes us guys have too much pride and ego in the way where we can't make the right decision. Marty's like, no, I got to make the right decision. I'm going to go DoorDash. Mike, you said to yourself, holy shit, I need to go pump gas. You went, this is fascinating to me, man. You went from having a bank account with a bunch of cash. You went from having probably a relationship, a daughter, and you woke up one day going, holy fart, I need to go and pump gas in order to put food on the table. Talk about how humbling that was and how you reconciled in your own brain. I got to do it to get to the next week so that I can go back to what I really want to do. And I want to hang here because a lot of guys can't do what you did or what Marty did. Talk about it, Mike Smart.
Well, I mean, I'm a fucking man, and I got 2 daughters that I have to take care of by myself. And it was either sit here and piss and moan about the fact that I failed in the, Web3 space, temporarily. I'm still there, and I still have all of my experience. And I do plan on recapitalizing on all of that hard earned time. But for the moment, I was like, I don't have any spirit to be innovative at the moment. I need to just break it down to brass tacks. I need income so I can pay the bills. I need to get a place in the middle of fucking nowhere with no family or friends. I needed to figure it out. So I figured it out. And that's basically it.
Go ahead, Marty, please.
Yeah, no, I was going to say a lot of people, man, we talked about earlier, the people looting the houses where the fires are burning in California. A lot of people turn to bullshit like that, when they hit hard times. So I just want to give you some credit, Mike, because sometimes you got to pivot and you get creative and use what you have or what you have access to. So I've definitely done that myself.
Thank you. Yeah, it's literally the only store in this whole town. It was a gas station at a Dollar General, and they wouldn't accept me at the Dollar General, so I went to the gas station.
Wow.
Absolutely.
There we go.
You, man.
There we
And
go.
Shinku comes in and says that I was broke and I had to do Postmates. True story. Thanks, Shinku, for playing off my words. I love this though because I'm playing on it because often Mike and Marty, Johnny, guys don't want to admit these things, right? So the fact that Mike's like, yeah, I had to go pump gas. It's what I had to do to put food on the table. Yeah, Marty, please.
I was gonna say I got a question for Mike because I know when I went through my DoorDash phase, people made me feel bad about it, man. You know, people said some hurtful shit to me.
Yeah.
And that it could have broke me. So did anybody ever make you feel bad about trying to make that pivot and just doing what you had to do to bounce back?
Oh man, it was all sorts of shit. Like I had 400 people in my community, and then I built another community of 300 people, and all of them were like, you know, I went from this tech CEO, this tech CEO making freaking millions of dollars to broke ass, losing my fucking mind over the whole situation. And people made TikTok accounts using AI to call me gay and all sorts of shit, and like just
That's crazy.
Yeah, ran my name in the mud, and basically what I did is just broke out of it because I've come from a rough background. I mean, I've been through it, been in just about every type of institution you can imagine. So like, I'm not some pussy, you know what I mean? I can handle a little bit of shit talk. And then I've been in construction my whole life as well. So it is what it is. Like I got lucky that I was smart enough to use my brain during the pandemic and realize I could do something else with my time. And then when that failed, like if you look at the markets, they go up and down, but a lot of the times you return to median, and that's kind of how I looked at it. Like, well, it's just a reset, but I'm not going to lose all that experience, and I'm not going to lose all that energy that I spent. It's just going to recirculate and come back when I figure it out again. So I was pretty confident through the whole process. It was definitely emotionally difficult, I'm not going to lie, but I'm a dad, man. I'm preoccupied with raising my kids and writing books and doing things that I care about. So I'm not going to sit there and be in my feelings about anything.
I love
what I like what just said is, he still had the skills because, you can basically develop a skill set and, you can make millions of dollars and you can make one bad move and you can lose it all, but you still have the skills. Yes. That allowed you to do it the first time. The skills can't be taken from you. So I love the fact that when, you just basically said, look, you took those skills and you move forward. And I think that's the thing that people got to realize is that most successful people have made it to that, mountaintop. They make a bad decision or two and they slide back to the bottom, but they realize that they can make it back to the top because they've got the shit they need to do it.
Well, Johnny, and I love what you're saying here because Mike represents what you stand for, Johnny, which is don't judge the man for what he looks like, judge the man for the habits, right? So I love what Mike is because Mike clearly, Johnny just demonstrates consistent habits, right? So sometimes the habits work, sometimes they don't, but he gets up every single day. And Mike, I love about what you're doing too, pal, is that, and again, something we talk about on the show all the time, we can talk to our kids or we can show our kids. Like your daughter, my friend, is getting an incredible lesson in life. Like I can't imagine what your daughter's going to achieve, Mike Smart, because the lessons she's getting from her dad right now, not by what she's hearing from you. I'm sure she's hearing a lot of great shit, but what she's watching you do. Like, dude, like I got to go pump gas. I got to go fucking make bucket buddies. I got to do this. And she's like, okay, dad. Like that's like, dude, you get off this show today and you feel good about yourself because you deserve to be, because that, like, as Shinku says, your princess, she has got a dad that clearly is set in the right direction for her, my friend. So regardless of what institutions you've been in, man, I love what you're talking about right now, pal. You represent everything that we're trying to build and talk about with Man on this show. You talk about all about your feelings. I know you have feelings because you talk about them. You have a daughter, and I got 2 daughters, so I know you well enough to know that John's 2 daughters. Yeah, so I know that you have feelings, but I also know you're a man, and you got to balance it, right? Good for you, brother. Good for you.
It's our kids, they don't give a shit what we say. They give a shit what we do. They imitate what we do. So the question we got to ask ourselves is, are we giving them something great to imitate?
Yes. Well, I like that.
They're part of my greatness, man. Like I wouldn't be shit without them. They're the sensitive aspect of my life that allows me to bring it back and realize I am still a human being and not just some robot trying to make $100 million.
But Mike, this is good, pal. Let's lean here a second before we wrap up the segment. Because there's a lot of guys who don't have daughters that don't know what you know and I know and John knows. And it's different, frankly. I'll just say it's different, right? So because it helps bring sensitivity out. It helps bring an emotional side that you maybe didn't know you had. Because Mike, I got to think before you had daughters, you were a certain kind of man. But as you had those daughters and you spend time with your young ladies and they spend time loving you and you loving them back, it brought out probably a side in you, Mike, that you didn't even know you had. Am I correct?
Yeah, it was more or less like, like I said, I come from a rough background, so it wasn't much of that whole sharing your feelings type of stuff. It was just, tough and get going, and you're on a construction site. If you show 1 ounce of weakness, then you're, if the pecking order is just unbearable, I'm sure. But so yeah, yep, they're definitely and having to, or I guess getting to raise my daughters by myself. But there was no woman around to influence anything. And how they act. So I had to find some level of sensitivity because they had to see it from somewhere. And I don't really have family around. So it's just me and them.
Good for you, man. You represent so much of what we're trying to do here on this show. I'm loving this moment right now, Mike Smart. Listen, we got to keep the show going. We got AJ Zeglin joining us here for us in a minute with Mindfield. Mike, how can Nation, LinkedIn Nation, Business Athlete Nation, our audience find you, connect with you? Take a minute to plug Bucket Buddies. Take a minute to plug what you're working on, and share some stuff for the world right now, Mike.
Awesome. Well, you could go to smartfarms.global. We have a bunch of books there, a bunch of merchandise. We have a snack line, hot sauce, a bunch of different snacks, Bucket Buddy snacks, dried fruit.
Yeah.
And some for the adults, some chocolate-covered coffee beans. But basically what we're trying to accomplish is building a homeschool curriculum, like a subscription box service where it's like a high-end, people, homeschooling families can just get a subscription and they'll get a month's worth of healthy snacks, a grow kit for the character of the month, and then books and a full month's worth of curriculum so that they can just streamline the process of homeschooling their kids. Because that's what I've been doing since the pandemic. And my kids just went back to school this year because we're in a better place. But yeah, so I figured I wanted to make it easier for homeschooling families, and I want people to eat healthy and learn how to grow food. And we show them how to grow food, how to harvest the food, and then how to make secondary products like these. And the idea is that we're going to franchise this brand and build small farms in different local communities that they could use this brand. When they grow their food, they can sell the food in these packages in their local markets and completely change the food distribution chain.
Dude, I'm a fucking fan.
That's a beast, man. That's a beast.
Marty, I got
That's
Marty,
deep, baby.
Marty, can I bring the button out, Marty?
Yeah, you got my permission, man. Give him the GOAT button, man.
All right, yeah. And I know, Johnny, it's the pussy.
Go ahead, Johnny. Chill, Johnny.
I've already spoken my piece.
Right? We don't hand this button out very often, but you're getting the GOAT button, man. And I'm also going to say this, Mike Smart.
You got to turn it up a little bit. I don't think he heard it. It was hard to hear. You got to turn it up a little bit. There we go. Yeah. There we go.
He's shaking his head too. He's like, that is a fucking castrated fucking goat. That's what he's thinking to himself. He knows what a real fucking goat sounds like.
Mike,
See, this is not a city slicker. He's not a city. He understands what a goat fucking sounds like. You see him shake his head. He's like, these motherfuckers gave me a castrated goat. What the fuck is wrong with that?
Mike, I'm going to get you a South Dakota goat for your next appearance because
South Dakota goat, a non-castrated goat, a goat that's fucking got a pair.
Not a South Dakota goat. Mike, so here's what I want to do, man, because I'm admittedly a super fan of yours right now. I'm telling you right now. I want to have you back frequently throughout the year so we can document and follow your journey. I love your mission. I love your purpose. I love what you stand for. I love everything you've shared on the show. So if you're up for it, dude, I'd love to keep you on a regular kind of pattern here on the show. Drop in with us and share the journey about how you're trying to change the world for kids and for families, because your purpose is admirable and it's the right thing, brother. Would you do that with us?
Yeah, I'm down. I'm here.
Awesome. Yeah, you are there. You absolutely are there. All right, guys, listen, Mike Smart's joining us from South Dakota here today. He's the CEO of Bucket Buddies. Go find Mike on LinkedIn. And Mike, what was the URL? Bucketbuddies.global?
Well, there's smartfarms.global, but you can go to bucketbuddies.anythingbut.com because somebody bought that. But yeah, bucketbuddies.xyz.
Just go find him. Go find Bucket Buddies on the internet. You'll find Mike Smart. He's our guest here today on Mornings in the Lab. There's the goat for Mike. And listen, it's time to rock and roll with this button over here before we bring in our friend AJ Zeglin. Johnny,
all right, Mike. Appreciate you, Mike.
I appreciate you, Mike. All right, Marty's gonna take a break. I gotta go grab my water. So Johnny, extend it for about 30 seconds or so. I'll be back in 30. Go do it, brother.
You know me, baby. I'm short and sweet. Well, let's do it. All right, check this out. Fuck motivation. Motivation will come and go like a fart in the goddamn wind. What you need is discipline. And discipline is doing the shits you need to do even when you don't want to. And when you develop this discipline, you handle your shit, you have success, you will be motivated to do it again. But you got to understand that discipline is the foundation. Without discipline, you're going to have a hell of a time getting where you want to go. That is what you need. Think about it. Motivation is like the icing on the cake. The cake, that's discipline. So that being said, get your shit straight. Understand what you need to focus on, which is very simple. Doing the shit you need to do, even when you don't want to. Rock and roll.
Just do it, just like Mike did it. I'm back, Jimmy. I'm back. I got my water. What's up, Mr. Zeglin? How are you, pal?
I'm good, man. How you guys
Hey,
doing?
Joe, what's up, brother?
I'm good. Hey, did you get a chance to hear anything Mike Smart said there, AJ? He's
What's up, AJ?
Hey, how's it going? You know what? I didn't. I usually get to jump on about 10 minutes early and kind of hear the conversation, but we're a little busier morning in the gym today, so I didn't get to catch it. I just jumped on a couple minutes ago, so I just caught the end of it.
Dude, the guy's a fucking stud, man. He's down in South Dakota there. He's raising his 2 daughters all by himself, single dad. He's helping grow nutritious, healthy food, and he's creating subscription service for families and foods. His mission and purpose, man, it's exceptional. It's just, I'm going to get up and help feed kids and help feed families. I love that whole purpose.
Yeah.
His vision is enormous.
Yeah. I love it.
I caught a bit of the end piece of the vision when he was saying how his plan of expanding it and making it accessible to people. So I was going to go and look at the Smart Foods, our Bucket Buddies there, and try to learn more about what he's doing.
There you go. And I loved his energy. Hey, boys, his energy was just off the charts.
Hey, you know what's crazy? He was like real monotone, but then his story makes you go, whoa.
No, I'm saying that tongue in cheek because I love Mike. I'm saying that, as with lots of love. And if Mike's tuning in right now, I want him to be laughing because I love it. Energy. It was like, but it's like he's a silent killer, right? He's like silent killer. Yeah. He's just this.
Well, he took that monotone to the. He took that monotone so far, it was like he playing like the Godfather type.
Yeah.
You take it all the way. You go all the way deep. You get a little something out of that. You get a pop out of that.
That awesome beard he has there. I'm like, oh, this guy's a fucking motherfucker, man. So, so Zeg, I dropped an article in your messages this morning. Sorry, I forgot to do it last night, but
all right.
It's I want to have the conversation as much about now as I'm thinking about in 12 and 24 and 36 months from now. And what it is, Marty and John, is that there's humans looking at talking to AI as mental therapists. And I know that Flynn talks with them. I've talked with them. And I got to be curious, AJ. I'm suspecting right now there's not a lot of humans coming through you saying, oh, I'm not talking to AJ, now I'm going to go use the AI instead. But AJ, let's have a general conversation.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts around this? Have you used it? Have you spent any time sitting down talking with these AI models to use them as a therapist, like some people are?
So no, I can't say I've sat down and used it in that way. Obviously, I'm somewhat familiar with AI and some of its capabilities. I've definitely, used it in ways of, let's say you're kind of stuck and you need to get started on like a slide deck or something like that. I've used it for that, like put in a very specific prompt and kind of helped you get yourself organized a little bit. Helpful for that. I do know that there are people out there that have used it kind of in that therapeutic sense of asking questions, asking advice. You know, I think like anything, I have no doubt that there's information on there that's really good. So if we use a tool, like I always say, nothing is inherently good or bad on its own, right? Nothing on this planet is good or bad on its own. It's really what we do with it that makes it good or bad. So is there probably some value, and people could probably use it in a productive way or some way that's helpful for them? I'm sure that's possible. Are there some potential drawbacks to it that I see in the immediate future? I think there are. People might think I'm biased, obviously, because what I do for work, you know, but can those drawbacks maybe be overcome in the future in a way, maybe how they change how that stuff is delivered? It's probably possible. I have no idea where that stuff is going to go, right? But
I use it daily. Like I talk with my AI daily. My 3 different models I use it for very much everything that I do. And Amy, I see your comment there. I've never thought about using AI for therapy. You know, Christina Flynn is using AI she's replaced her therapist with AI. And some of the comments you hear from people, AJ, is I didn't expect it to feel so human, or I didn't recognize some of the points of view that it offered up to me that I wasn't able to discover myself or with another human. What are your thoughts on that, AJ?
Yeah, for sure, right? Because in theory, like, it should have access to anything that's ever been written.
Yes.
Right? Like, so any piece of therapeutic advice that's been written by a person, the AI would probably have access to it, right? So you have access to, and that's probably from like a formal education sense, like any textbook, any core, any whatever, all that information would be accessible. And then any human therapist that's ever put their stuff online, right, and wrote a blog or an article or answered a question online or anything like that, you'd think all that stuff would be accessible too, right? So the information that it's creating is, I'm guessing, I'm not an AI expert, but I think would be part of the foundation of it would be rooted in information that's been shared from real human beings, right? So there's definitely going to have a human element to it.
What strikes me
here's the thing. And Grant, I'm not a huge AI guy. You know, I'm kind of just dabbling with it. But and correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that it has a huge upper hand on a human in regards of no matter what the relationship is, it's going to be honest. And we don't have with human beings, in many cases, some human beings they intend to be so helpful, but they don't have the balls to be honest.
You know, Johnny, you're bang on. I had a conversation with AI last week about something I was working on, and it offered a point of view that I couldn't even see. And I was like, oh. And you know what? I wonder if I would have talked with you, AJ, but if you would have even discovered that because of what John just said, because it came so far outside of the box.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
That I was like, I didn't even consider that.
Yeah. I mean, there's probably benefits or pros or cons to everything, right? Like, I would say, like, just off the top of my head, you know, I'm not really sitting down and kind of thinking about it for too long, but off the top of my head, some things that I would say would be in the benefit of seeing a person is that, as we know, we've talked about here before, about 55% of communication comes from body language and facial expressions, right? So not even what you're getting from your therapist, but what your therapist is getting from you, right? So if the AI is not reading your tone, your facial expressions, and your body language, then how does the AI know that you're being honest, right? When you ask it a question, right? Or how does the AI know that you're not full of shit? Because sometimes you'll work with people and you could kind of tell what they're portraying through their facial expressions, through their body language, through their tone isn't maybe necessarily matching up with their words. And it gives you clues as a therapist on how to maybe dig a little deeper, how to maybe deliver the questions in a certain way, how to create an environment that person will open up and be more honest and will kind of take responsibility for some of the things that are happening, right?
You know,
so it goes both ways, right?
You know what's
Well,
fascinating?
yeah, and so I mean, that's thinking like this. Now we got to ask ourselves the question: do we have the balls to be honest enough with the goddamn AI for it to
Great
actually
question.
do a great fucking job? Because most
Great
people
question.
are not fucking honest with themselves.
Yes.
That's
Well,
true.
we know now, AJ, that it can see, right? So we know the new AI model can see you. You know what would be fascinating, AJ, and I'm happy to even do this with you and do an experiment with you. I'd love to have you as a therapist.
Yeah.
Sit down with the AI and actually you be your client as if you know what I mean, and role play with the AI. We should actually do this, record it or talk about it, and then even do a segment on it, because there's probably not a lot of folks in Winnipeg who are having this conversation, to say the least, AJ, maybe not even in Canada, and it might even put you ahead of, it might provide you some evidence-based research, it might provide you some content. There might be something here for us, pal, where
I would love that.
Right, where you actually are the client of the AI, but you're also the therapist who's the expert.
Right. Yeah, it'd be definitely interesting to see, because like I said, I don't so as someone that does work in the field, and I know we've talked a lot about AI, like I'm intrigued by it. I'm not put off by it. I'm not one of those people that, and we've talked about a lot even in the training world, right?
Yes.
Because all of us exist in some capacity in the training world too. And I know when that came in, people are like, well, can't I just get an AI trainer and stuff? And I was like, well, I think it could be a tool that everyone can use to help. And I think, it's just different though, right? And so I think this with therapy is going to be the same type of thing. I think there's potential to draw value out of it. But it would be interesting. Like, John kind of, again, took my 5-minute ramble and summed it up perfectly. Do we trust the people?
That's what I do, baby.
Else then it could just be a confirmation bias, right? If someone's sitting there thinking like, oh no, everyone else is fucking crazy. Like I'm not, like I know I'm whatever. And then they type it in a certain way and they're like, yep, I knew it. I knew I was right. And it's just a confirmation bias from like, you don't have someone there to kind of call you on your shit, right? And then also I would say, this from the training perspective and from the therapy perspective, what I tell people all the time, all the trainers that have worked under me for years and years and years, the first thing that I tell them is that the most important thing is the relationship. Yes. I don't care when people come work for me in the gym, we work with pro athletes and whoever else, it doesn't matter. I'm like, I don't care where you went to school. I don't care I care that you're a good person and that you're personable and that you're going to put the effort into making the relationship with the people. All the training stuff, I can help you. I can teach you that. We can learn that together. We can, but you have to have those people skills. And it's the same in therapy and in the gym. The stronger the relationship is, the better everything else is going to work. I could give you any exercise in the world. If we don't have a good relationship and you don't really trust me or respect me, or, and it's not mutual that way, the chances of that exercise or that program working for you aren't very good. In the therapist room, if I can give you the best, I can be like, oh, I know, exactly what you're going through. I've seen this before. Here's the skills and tools. Here's the theoretical orientation that's going to match perfectly with the challenge that you're facing, blah, blah, blah. If we don't have any rapport, if we don't have any mutual trust, we don't have any respect for one another, we don't have a relationship, those skills aren't going to work very well, right? Yeah. If we have a good working relationship, the strength of that client relationship, that therapeutic relationship, whether you're in the gym working with someone, whether I'm in the office working with someone, or whatever I'm doing, the stronger that relationship is, that is the greatest predictor of successful outcomes over anything else, over any skill, any tool.
And I got to just back up what AJ is saying here. Excuse me. That's generally speaking, especially now that AI is here. So my generally speaking it's a little more finite. People in general, there's not a problem with education of knowing what to do. The problem is the fucking application. People can know exactly you can give them the golden fucking nugget and they got to go A, B, C, D to get it. They just won't fucking do it.
Well, and that's why, Johnny, I believe this show has a purpose, because we're not here to sell you anything new. It's like, bring your own program. We're here to hold you accountable to it. You don't need a new fucking workout program from me. You don't need a new advice on what to eat. It's already out there. What you need is to show up here every single day and do it again tomorrow. And then when you fall, come back and do it again tomorrow. Right. But AJ, there's two things in the AI world that fascinate me before we wrap the segment up. Two things, AJ. I sit down and watch Brookie, my little 8-year-old, talk to AI and form relationships. Fascinating to me. Fascinating to me because she looks at it unlike any of us do. And and she's Gen AI, right? And then the other one is I found an article, and I want to talk about, maybe we'll talk about it in the future. These folks sat down with a bunch of old folks, like folks in their 70s, 80s, 90s, and gave them AI. Yeah. And they sat down and looked at what they talked about with the AI and then reviewed the conversation history. 95% of the folks that were reviewed, these older elderly folks, all asked the question to the AI. Yeah. What happens when I die? Right. Will I be remembered? Like these curious questions that we still have in our head.
Depends on what the fuck you did in your life. Jesus
I knew it was coming.
You're a fucking face in the crowd now. Even if you're a fucking rock star and you become a legend, you're barely going to be remembered, for Christ's sake. You're just one of these poor motherfuckers who's facing the crowd.
But it's fascinating.
5 minutes later, you're gone. Nobody remembers shit.
I know, but it's fascinating to me because it's just when we're in our most quietest moments, we don't know who's watching our conversation. We start to be curious about our mortality, right, AJ? And we go, oh, there's this super intelligence here that might have the answer for me. So it's like your dad, AJ, quietly going, is anybody looking at me? Okay, I'm going to ask it this question. Right. And then you get the conversation history later. Oh, so that's what's really in my dad's mind. That's fascinating to me because we've never had this technology before for our parents to be curious about those questions to be answered, frankly.
Right. What does it say? What does it say when an older person says what's going to happen when I die?
It's a good question, actually.
Well, I think we all have to go do it ourselves. But I think the question is we don't know what the answer is, right? We don't know what happens. But I find it, to me, what was fascinating. Again, you guys know me. I'm a fan of the moment beneath the moment, but even further in beneath that moment is that the mindset of that human. Are they scared? Are they curious? John, you and I've talked as we get older, you get more comfortable with your life and more comfortable with dying. But then you're like, oh, hey, I look around, I'm going to go ask it this question. Because I know Google never gave it to me, but now this thing can possibly give it to me. And does it know the answer? It's fascinating. It's absolutely fascinating.
That is fascinating.
Yeah. So, Zeglin, always enjoy having you on here, my friend. Always enjoy having you on. What's going on here today in the big old world of Focus Fitness and AJ Zeglin?
Oh man, I guess I bet you guys could probably guess, but I'm back in the gym for the rest of the morning. Then I got a workout, and then I'm in. I got clients in the clinic this afternoon. So
nice.
It's a busy day, but it's a good day.
Awesome. Will you get after it, pal? Always appreciate you. What you're gonna say? Go ahead.
I will say one other thing too, just to kind of wrap it up. Yeah. Because sometimes if we reframe stuff and look at it through multiple perspectives, we can see value in it too. And that's, those relationships exist both ways, right? So when you're working with someone in the gym, that's a mutual relationship. Like they're benefiting from you and you're also benefiting from them, like having them as a client, right? Yes. So it works both ways. When you're in therapy, you are I hope I'm bringing value to the people that I'm working with, but they also bring value to me in my life. Right. And I think that's also valuable for them to know that and to see that, right. That when I'm working with someone, and one of the things that it doesn't worry me, but just something to think about is that if I'm not sitting across from them, but if a computer is, like, how does that individual then get the value? How do they know that they matter? How do they see that their absence would leave a hole, if they can't see their value reflected back in them through another human being,
That's fascinating. It's fascinating.
Think about, but
yeah. Well, and again, I wonder if it's a generational thing, right? So again, Brookie growing up,
totally.
Brookie talking to a robot or Boston or Leighton, do they really care?
It's normal for them, right? Yeah.
You and I do, but maybe they don't, right?
It's harder for us to wrap our minds around it because we're not. We didn't grow up.
A thought that trips me about this whole thing, AI and robots and all this stuff, is what's going to happen when the majority of the population has basically realized that the robot is better at what they do than they are. It's like, holy shit, you fucking lost your purpose of what you do in life. And even the guy that drives, the guy, whatever the job is, it could be a forklift driver, whatever it is, you have a purpose in what you do every day. Well, when that purpose is gone, what is going to happen to the human psyche when a robot can do what you do far better?
Well, and I think some of that's starting to appear, Johnny, and it's only going to get worse because
that's what I mean. What happens when we got 75 million people in the middle of that?
Yep. Yep. Well, and frankly, that's why I'm just going to say it. That's why these conversations are being had about, is Canada become a 51st state? Do we make a big union in America? Because there's economies in this, right? Because we nobody talks about, okay, well, who's going to pay for it? Who's going to pay for all this? We need $3 an hour people or $50 an hour people. Well, we got robots being built in China. So that's the conversations that we're talking about. But Johnny, it comes right back to what you're saying. It absolutely does, because within all this, there's called the economics. If nobody's got jobs because robots are doing everything, how does the world work? But that's not what we're here to talk about here today. So, Zeglin, I appreciate you, man. You have yourself a good, awesome day today.
Yeah, you guys too, man.
Awesome.
All right, AJ.
Thanks, guys.
See y'all tomorrow, man. I'm out too.
Yeah, Marty's out of here too. Johnny, we're going to work on doing the community corner here, and we're going to celebrate somebody. You got a few minutes to hang out with me, brother?
I do. Today, I don't have any interviews with any people on the other side of the pond, so I'm good.
Beautiful. We had a long show yesterday. I had the team here working on post-production forever yesterday. So we're gonna do our creator spotlight. We got a pretty cool person we're gonna celebrate here today. So we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna wrap it up. We're gonna get out of here in the next 5 or 7 minutes ago. I promised Jimmy that he can get to bed early tonight here today. So yeah, good times coming in with some comments. Hopefully AI makes customer service more friendly or takes over. People are not so friendly. You're right, good time. Yeah, I would agree with that. There certainly is challenges with human customer service. And Adam Holroyd's joining us here today. Adam says, I have full conversations daily. I use AI to brainstorm ideas, refine professional documents, and solve tricky Excel or PowerPoint. Adam, stop the fucking PowerPoint, man. Stop PowerPoint. I just don't do PowerPoint. That's the worst stuff we can. John, that was a fun first hour, man. We got into the fires. We got Mike Smart. Mike Smart's a goat, eh? Mike Smart is a fucking stud. Woo, that guy.
What I really loved was he's a dude, and he said I think his town was 700 people.
Yeah. Yes.
But he's got a fucking vision that is massive.
Yes. And man, I love females, guys who aren't afraid to get in the mirror and then come on and say to us, yeah, I had to go pump gas. Oh.
Yeah.
Like, that's humbling, brother. That's fucking humbling, man. You got a couple kids, you wake up, you're going, I got to put food on the table. I got to go get a job. Because we both know, Johnny, many men won't make that decision. They'll go on a corner instead. They'll go and fucking loot a house instead. They'll go do bad shit instead. Mike's like, no, I'm going to go show my daughters what it's like. I'm going to go to work.
Yeah, you got to be willing to do what you need to do, but stay in the game. Once you start breaking the laws, you're not in the game anymore.
Oh, well said. Well said. Yeah, absolutely. All right, Jimmy, listen, pal. Let's get Jimmy. Let's get to the creator spotlight. Let's get after it, buddy. I'm gonna get my screen set up here. So, Jimmy, I'm gonna get the horizontal when I hit the present button. But right now, I got my little bit of notes in front of me here, Johnny. This person we're gonna celebrate. I was excited with this one. So, most dating advice for men, it's either cringe, outdated, or borderline manipulative. But what if? And Amy Reinert, if you're listening right now. But what if real dating success wasn't about cheesy pickup lines or playing games? What if it came down to one thing, understanding women on a deeper level? You think you got dating figured out? Think again. Because according to this creator, John, most men are stuck in one of 3 traps. Maybe you and I have been here. Friend zoned, taken advantage of, or stuck in dull, lifeless relationships. Sound familiar? Well, it's time to change the game. And there's one woman, and I know this is a man's show, but there's one woman, and I've been watching her on LinkedIn. She creates great content, great energy. One woman who's been on your side all along, man. And she's not just giving tips. No way. She's helping men step into their power without being jerks or jerk-offs. She's turning guys into holy shit, I want him, guys. Guys, I hope you're listening right now, because this female we're going to feature here in a second is somebody you want in your corner. She's built a community, Johnny, of over 1 million people by doing one thing. Oh man, you're gonna love this one, brother. Telling men the truth women wish they knew. That's what she does. That's her purpose every single day. So Jimmy, let's do it, man. Today's Mornings in the Lab Creator Spotlight is the world's number one. I gotta get the buttons ready. The number one wing girl, Marnie Kinris. Johnny, I saw her profile and I had to just run into this, man. Now listen, there's a couple good, there's some goodness and some badness going on in this, and I just want to create the awareness. So Marnie is out of University of Western Ontario. She's out of Los Angeles County, LA. I don't know what kind of situation she is in with all the wildfires happening in LA, but needless to say, I still want to take some time to celebrate Marnie today here on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. She's the number one world's wing girl, Johnny. For over 2 decades, she's been the ultimate insider, helping men crack the code on attraction, respect, and long-term connection. What she's teaching, how to stand up for yourself and set boundaries without being a jerk. How to flirt effectively. Yes, there's a right way. And guys, it's not getting onto the fucking LinkedIn and being all harassing to all the females out there. There's a right way to flirt effectively, and Amy and Marnie can help you. And most importantly, how to build a relationship that lasts. Too many men are playing the wrong game. Wrong game. Marnie knows how to change the rules and win. You don't need tricks. You need clarity. You need confidence. And you need a wing girl who's been there, done that. You absolutely need Marnie Kinris. And you see her profile up here. She got great content, no BS dating advice. She made a post yesterday about this whole idea of you don't want to think about important decisions after making them. Do you want children? No, me neither. She's got great content for men. Guys, she's the ultimate wingman for you. I can't strongly encourage you enough to go spend time on Marnie's LinkedIn profile. She's got great content, guys. And Johnny, I'm trying to get her on the show, man. I think she'd be a great.
Well, I'd say this is the people listening, I'm sure would be quite interested. I'm interested to hear what she has to say as well.
I know. So she's because we don't find. So Johnny, we had somebody on the show here today talking crypto. We haven't had a lot of people talk crypto. We've never found a wing like this. The wing girl. She's a wing girl. Like, wouldn't every man like a wing girl?
So he's a wing man.
That's awesome, right? So I'm gonna hang out with you to help you get the right chick. So Marnie Kinris, we are here to celebrate you here, Mornings Lab with Keith and Friends. And here's how it works, Marnie. I know there's somebody in your orbit, maybe a man, maybe a female, that you think is doing great work. We'd love to have you here in the lab so you can celebrate them with us. So Marnie Kinris, on behalf of myself, John Anderson, producer Jimmy, and the rest of the gang, we are celebrating you on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. So there we go. All right. Good show here.
Perfect comments. I got to take a piss.
Yeah, well, Johnny's going to get out of here for a piss, and we're going to wrap it up. So, Johnny, see you back there tomorrow morning for the loop here on the good old Friday of the show.
That's it, baby. What is it? Friday tomorrow? Holy shit!
Friday tomorrow. Yeah. Hey, quickly before you go, I know we didn't talk much about it, but I got to ask you: did Terry make you some nice meal yesterday for that special day on the calendar for you yesterday?
Terry was. We went to get her an MRI for her shoulder. That was actually a huge chunk of our day. So her shoulder's bugging her. So I normally she does all sorts of cool stuff, but I told her, I said, listen, babe, you're dealing with enough. Don't worry about me. Let's just keep you feeling the way you want to feel. She's been in a lot of pain. She's been having a rough go.
Yeah.
And then my videographer is coming into town, which means now she's got to be a hostess. So, I told her, I said, let's just get you rest today. So, my birthday is one of those things to where I don't put demands on people of my birthday,
Yeah.
So,
I hear it.
So yesterday, what it was another day of me doing what I want to do, and caring for my wife was part of that.
I love that. Hey, John, let's make it a mission, pal, because we know there's a lot of guys like you and I that are like, we just want to get up and have our day and maybe have a nice meal or maybe something, but don't make a big deal about our birthday. It's just another day on the calendar. So, right.
Yeah, I think when it comes down to, I agree with that, and I think, but don't put other people way out because you can have a day where you can make a bunch of demands.
Yes, well, that's exactly it. Well, I don't make demands. As a matter of fact, it's actually the opposite. I'm like, no, I don't want. Let's just downplay the whole thing. It's just, but I also understand folks want to celebrate. But I get it.
I had great conversations with my daughters. That was enough.
Good.
They all called me. That's
beautiful.
the key.
Beautiful. I love that. Yeah. You know, and you can't put any monetary value on that. You had a wonderful conversation, a wonderful connection, and off you went. All right, pal, you go for a pitch. I'm going to wrap it up, and we're going to get after it. Johnny, have a good one, pal. We'll reconnect.
Have a good loop, brother.
Less than 24 hours. See you in the morning, pal. All right, Johnny's getting out of here. Jimmy, we're going to wrap it up here in a second here. I got a comment here from Amy that I want to address here on the show here, Jimmy. You know, Amy, I can't disagree with you. Don't love the reference to being a pussy. It's interesting because I've listen, as I've been doing this show, I've been asking myself from time to time, do I want to be the word police? Do I want to police what kind of words folks use? You know, and there was a time in my journey where I was maybe somewhat reflective upon saying, I don't know if we need to use those words. And then I started kind of going around in my head going, you know, maybe we just need to keep talking about them. Because, you know, I got a couple daughters, you know, I like the term pussy. I like what it all stands for, but I don't know if I like the idea of calling somebody one or making it demeaning. Because when it seems demeaning, I just think it loses much of the luster and the value to it. So I think we as men are better than that. And I hope that, you know, as I keep conversing with all of you and having conversations with you guys, we can think about choosing different words. And maybe when we use words that others question, it's more a reflection upon ourselves and our own intellect. And that's what I've been asking myself, which is, okay, a dude, and it's not about judging somebody, Jimmy, Amy, it's not about judging. It's more so just recognizing that there are maybe other ways to articulate a message. And the best way to change that message is by choosing different words and different way to communicate. So listen, there's not a right or wrong on Amy. Like I said, I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you. It's a fascinating conversation for me. Right. And I don't think it's a right or a wrong. And I think, Amy, for me, what's even more fascinating is that we're seeing what's happening here in the last week with, you know, with free speech and Meta changing the rules. And I agree with all of that because I don't like expecting people to be in a box of what they can and cannot say. If you don't like what somebody's saying, change a channel, go have a different conversation. However, I still believe there's a way that we can articulate ourselves. It's just like, Amy, I'm talking to you. It's just like when we hear comedians just swear all the time. It's like, really? Like, is that because you didn't put the time in to find a better way to deliver the joke? And that's what I ask myself sometimes, right? Which is if I took some extra time to deliver the joke, maybe I don't have to drop the F-bomb. And I know the F-bomb is something that can accentuate or can provide emphasis to something, but I know that there's power when we can stitch together wonderful words, especially if you're a storyteller, to deliver a message and then not have to punctuate it with something that is nefarious or that is, you know, crude or not very kind. Right. So I don't know. It's I don't disagree with the whole comment about, you know, these words that. And here's the other thing too, right, Nation, is that we've been so conditioned, I think anyways, over the last, 8, 15 years to be so fucking woke. And so, I can't say that. I can't say that really. When I was building my moderation company, Jimmy, I struggled with not allowing people to do certain things because I'm like, well, why can't they? Like, it's freedom. It's freedom of speech, freedom of doing. And again, there's a balance there. And I get all that. So, that's why I created this show, because I just want to have a conversation. I do. And I think that if we can come to the table and represent ourselves with great words, we can have great conversation. And I think we can learn to leave judgment aside by having great conversation. So I hear your point, Amy. I'm glad that you engaged, and I'm glad that you threw to me to talk about. And it's something that I want to keep having here. Because I'll tell you, Reiner, I've even shifted my view with some things on the show here as time's gone on with what people can and cannot say. And again, my point here is I want to create a safe space, but I just want us to think. I want us to think as men. Just because we did a thing a certain way doesn't mean we can't do things a certain way differently tomorrow. So maybe if you have a daughter, and maybe if you like to use the P word all the time, maybe after hearing what I said, you're thinking, nah, maybe I don't want to use it anymore, because I wouldn't want my daughter being called a pussy, because that kind of suggests a lesser than, because none of us want to be a lesser than. That's just the fact of the matter. And Johnny said it earlier, right? We often can't look in the mirror and be honest with ourselves, let alone somebody else. Nobody wants to be made felt a lesser than. Words make us feel lesser than. So maybe there's a way we can do it differently. That's all I would invite you guys to think about. All right, good time. I appreciate you, man. Good time. I'm going to tell you something, man. I love waking up and seeing your comments on my phone on the YouTube channel. You're going to make me cry here, man, because you've been a big supporter since day one. You appreciate when I say shitty things. You also appreciate when I say some thoughtful things. So I'm really grateful for that. We're just trying to do things, man. We're just trying to give men a place to reconsider. We're trying to give men a safe space to be heard. We're trying to give a man a safe space like Mike Smart, a place to come and tell his story. We're trying to give men a space to say, yeah, fuck, I had to go pump gas because I couldn't put food on the table. And I had to show my girls what it took to go put food on the table. Not looting the fucking house in Los Angeles because that guy's house is burning down. No, I had to go pump gas. Or I had to go do Postmates like Shinko. Or I had to go do DoorDash like Marty. That takes balls, guys. It takes balls. So that's the show we have here. All right. Yes, good time. Soon we'll be in the same country. Yes, we will. 51st state, Uncle Keith leading it. Hey, I might wake up being, listen, guys, this could be the preeminent biggest morning show in this new country state of the United Americas of whatever we're going to call it, right? Anyways. All right, I got to get out of here. I promised Jimmy that we would do a 60 to 75 minute show, even though a bunch of you guys are hanging out right now and you're hanging out with me, which I really much appreciate. Hey, Jimmy, maybe because all these folks are hanging out with solo Keith, we got to get rid of Marty and Johnny and everybody else. It's like, this is the fucking Keith show. Yeah, true story. There you go. Hey, listen, we're going to get out of here. This could be a whole show. You're right, Amy. It absolutely could be a whole show. When I started this show originally live and live, it was just me. I have no problem doing this, talking to you. And I know folks sometimes go, how do you talk to nothing? No, I'm talking to you right now. I'm talking to Shinku. I'm talking to Good Time. I'm talking to Amy. I'm talking to Mike. I'm talking to Lauren. I'm talking to Jimmy. Once you get comfortable talking to that person over there, that's when it gets really good. So, okay, listen, I am going to stop talking. I got to go to work. I got shit to do. I got to get my lift in. I got to go. Dog's getting trimmed. Dog's nails are getting trimmed today. Yeah. Charlie's nails are getting trimmed today. And I got a whole host of things to get done. So we're going to get out of here. We're back in less than 24 hours with Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. The loop recontinues. Yes, Good Time. I will be the governor. I'll be the governor of State 51. Called Canada. All right, Jimmy. You guys know the sound. I'm going to get out of here. Producer Jimmy's got to go too. We're going to get out of here. See you guys tomorrow. Morning's Labs with Keith and Friends. Have a good one. On behalf of myself, John, Marty, Amy, have a good one. AJ, have a good one. Shinku, have a good one. Scott, have a good one. Governor, good time. Have a good one. I appreciate all of you guys hanging out with me. I love you guys all. I appreciate it. You guys give me a reason to get up. Have a good one, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.